Well, it looks like we're definitely an FA Cup team. Heroics again yesterday against Watford mean we bring them back to our place for the third round replay in the FA Cup today with a little bit of a dream of an upset. But it's a little dream. Hello and welcome to part 42 of It's Coming Home. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have a league game away against Kidderminster and then that FA Cup third round replay game at home against Premier League Watford with the prize of a potential fourth round tie at home against Manchester City on the line. For those of you who didn't stick around right until the very end of yesterday's episode, money-wise, we made about £100,000 out of the away leg or away game against Watford because so few people turned up. Bit of a disappointment, but obviously have the opportunity to try and make a bit more money in the home match, and then who knows what might come next. We need to take the pressure off, Kev. Take the pressure off. In the spirit of taking the pressure off, we're playing Kidderminster before we get onto the... Use your words, man. We're playing Kidderminster first, and our players are tired. So we are rotating quite heavily. We're publicly prioritising the FA Cup, at least for this week. So there's going to be a few faces in this team that you haven't seen for a while, or maybe haven't seen at all. And we're keeping Humphreys in goal, but Critchlow Noble comes back in at left back. It's his first appearance for ages. I mean, ages. But Critchlow Noble comes back in at left back. Carter and Colley at centre back allows us to give Proctor a rest. Hickman comes in at right back. Henry comes in at defensive midfield. Hornshaw, his first game for ages in central midfield, and a debut for Leighton Watts, who's an attacking midfield player we signed relatively recently. He looks like he's got some decent potential, and he's going to get an opportunity over the coming months because Lerick Fernandez, you saw him go off injured right at the end of the game in the last episode. Unfortunately, he's broken his ribs and he's going to be out for a while. So Leighton, whatever his name was, Leighton Watts, with the opportunity today to tell me that he should be the man who starts in the next game against Watford. He won't be. O'Brien will start. And then up front, we're going with Foy to give Mick Powell a day off. Cottrell can continue because I suspect he probably won't play against Watford unless he plays particularly well today. And Harrop comes in to give Connor Stanley a little bit of a rest. So with such a heavily rotated team, I'm not feeling particularly confident going into the Kidderminster match. We struggled a lot in our previous league game because all eyes were on Watford, and I think we're probably going to have a little bit of that again today. But let's let's keep the run going because we've been unbeaten for a while. We're not really scoring goals particularly regularly, but Foy scored a great goal against Watford, which, I mean, it's the perfect opportunity to reward him for that without Mick Powell thinking he's being dropped because he's obviously being rested. We've got Watford coming up again in the next game. If Foy scores a hat-trick, then I've got a decision to make for Watford because although Powell's already got 30 goals this season, he didn't show up at all against Watford. Foy did. And you're only as good as your last game. Cliché bingo cards, boys and girls. So it's a nice problem. There you go, have another one. It would be a nice problem to have if Foy really pushes for a start against Watford. As it is, he's not played very well yet and he's already on a yellow card. So he might even be suspended for the game and we don't have to worry about it at all because he'll get himself sent off. Kidderminster are a team we should be capable of beating, but as suspected, we've not really been with it at all in this first half because we're too worried about what's happening in the next match. We're not doing badly. We are doing badly. Apparently we're not doing, but there's no option to say we're not doing very well. So let's try that one. There you go. It's motivated everybody again. At least they're motivated. Perhaps I have to lie to get some motivation out of them. Again, despite the fact that we've played all these cup games, we've still played far more league games than everyone else as well. I guess we're going to have a fairly easy run in while everyone else is catching up on all the games they've missed. The worry is we're clinging on to a playoff spot by the skin of our teeth, having played 3 more games than the team 1 point below us. So there's going to come a time where they storm past us. So we really have to start putting together some results. Right, Wolf is coming on for Hornshaw. Hornshaw, signing him may have been a mistake. And we're also going to bring on Mick Powell for Matt Foy for the last 20 minutes. Try and get some sharpness back into Mick Powell. This is where we tell him, you know what, Mick, you were dropped. Go out there and show me why you should be starting against Watford. And hopefully he'll do exactly that now. Harrop with the corner, floats it across. There's no one there to get on the end of it. Cottrell from range, cannons back off the crossbar. And do we need to make another change? We could probably take Critchlow Noble off, but I'm not desperate to. I think we can probably just leave things as they are. And we should be okay. Although Kidderminster coming at us, there's 3 minutes left. A goal here would be a little bit upsetting. But, yeah, sometimes teams come here and upset me, and it makes me very sad. Obviously, the more important game of the episode is the Watford game, though, because we've got FA Cup dreams going on again. We want that game against Manchester City. There is Mick Powell winning the ball back, but he ran very wide to do it, but finds Wolf. Wolf probably should have finished that off. Powell set it up for him on a plate. That was excellent for Mick Powell, and Wolf probably should have done a little bit better, and I think that was probably the last chance of the game, and it was. Another boring 0-0 leading into an FA Cup game. I think we need that wasn't good enough, just to put some spark of life in for us, ready for Watford, and get some of those first teamers back into the team for what could and probably should be a record attendance at the home of football. Here we go then. This is our team for the Watford replay. Not ideal. It's not far from full strength, but a little away from full strength. Obviously, already knew we were going to be without Fernandez and Tyler on that left wing, but we've also had to send Webber on holiday because he was shattered. There you go. He's on holiday. Colley, he struggles for fitness. We probably shouldn't have played him in that last game, but he is very much struggling for fitness. He's had a few holidays in his time at the club, and he's just not fit enough to play, so he's going to sit on the bench. And we're keeping Hickman in at right back as well, because obviously Tanner is having to go over to left back. So Humphreys in goal, Tanner, Proctor, Carter and Hickman as our defence, Phillips, O'Brien and Wolf in midfield, and the front three of Cottrell, Powell and Stanley. Have we got another upset in us, boys and girls? Spoilers, we probably don't. Oh, and we've got one of our youth players sitting on the bench today as well, Alex Carmichael, making it up onto the bench. That shows how desperate we're getting for players, that we're having to draft youth players in just to do a 7-man bench. For some reason, we're playing in our third choice kit in a home game as well, which I don't really understand. We're given the underdog special. Why would we be doing that? Neither our home or away kits clash with the Watford kit. There's no reason at all for us to be playing in the third choice kit, other than the fact that the game is teasing me because it knows I still don't have my one yet. Although I've got the other two. I did order the third choice one a little bit after the first. But still, I want it, and now they're playing in it, and it makes me sad. Especially because I still don't have 3D kits on, and on the pitch there it looks nothing like what it looks like in real life. Really need to learn how to do 3D kits as a matter of urgency. And with 5 minutes on the clock, Watford are 1-0 up. Oh, I'm losing my voice. You'll see by the shirt that I've recorded a lot of videos back to back this morning across both series, and when I'm recovering from a cold, doing that is ruining my voice. Where's my water? I need to get some water in me so that I can talk through the rest of this match and then go and put my throat on ice. The pre-season media reports were saying that we were expecting a 4,000 capacity sellout, so it does look pretty full. We're certainly a lot fuller than they were. They only got 9,000 for the first leg. We've only got a 4,000 capacity, but we should max it out. And I would like to think with additional merchandise sales and things like that, we might make 50, 60, 70 grand out of this game to go with 100,000 or so we made from the first game. And then it becomes a little bit more financially beneficial than the disappointment we had from the attendance in that first game. Humphreys, that was terrible. Humphreys has just done an absolute howler, and I think that's probably killed us off, because at 1-0 down there's always a chance. At 2-0 down with a big personal mistake causing it as well, it's really hard to come back from that, and Humphreys is going to be absolutely gutted. Civita on the bench, or in fact no, Civita on our bench. That's not us, this is us. Civita on the bench is thinking, well, at least I'm back next match. I was getting a bit bored of not playing. Right, we've still got to stay calm. Yeah, we just got to keep saying 2-0 down it's not a big deal. There you go. We have maxed out 4,000 attendance. 450 of them are away fans. That attendance will not be beaten until the ground is either expanded or we move on again, because it's completely maxed out. No more spare seats or standing areas. Stanley now rushing through the middle. Almost finds Powell. Powell wins it back. Forces a save out of the Watford keeper. Both Stanley and Powell did brilliantly there. And it's O'Brien with the corner. Swings it in towards Powell and it's straight at the Watford keeper again. We're showing a couple of signs of life. If we'd have only been 1-0 down at this point, I'd be dreaming a little bit in the circumstances. We all know we're not getting back into this game, but little sparks of energy and life are always appreciated. But what can we do? What have we got on the bench to find a way through to win this game? Win this game. We're not going to win the game. What am I even saying? Right, Connor Stanley. Let's get Foy on. Foy played very well in the first game. He deserves an opportunity to get on again. Matty Wolf, we'll bring Martin Smith on for him. And that will do. And let's ask for passion. It was passion that's got us back into the game in the first leg. What we need is for some of the Watford players to start feeling complacent. 20 minutes left. They're 2-0 up. They're through to the next round. They know they are, especially at 3-0. We had a good shot at it. We're not going to do full-on cup exploits like last year, but we gave it a good go. We earned a replay against Premier League opposition again, which is something that we have to be incredibly proud of, just like we were proud of our cup run last year. It's still brought in a bunch of cash that will be very helpful. It's not the £1 million that we made from our cup run last year, but if you go back in time 13 months and offered us £200,000, that would be club saving money. And now Watford are really rubbing it in. 4-0 down now. And what have we got on the bench that we can bring on to just steady the ship a little bit? Or do we give a debut to Alex Carmichael? Give him some experience against a Premier League team. He's another central midfielder in the Lerick Fernandez mould. Let's get him on and get him. The game's still going on behind me, isn't it? I can see. Let's get Alex Carmichael on. The opportunity for another one of our Patreon players to get on the pitch and experience some time against Premier League opposition. Cottrell cross towards Powell. Powell to Foy. Foy scored against Watford again. He's got Watford's number. Matt Foy is made. I've not got any words. Of all of our players, he's made a particularly strong argument for a bit more game time using this cup run, because he's looked very good as part of it. And I am tempted to find a way to squeeze him in alongside Powell, but I'm not sure how I'd do it. Although I guess the injury to Fernandez means now is the time, because we can shake the midfield up a little bit as well. Maybe try a 4-4-2. But that seems a little bit extravagant for my tastes. I'm glad we got the goal. The goal gave us something to cheer and sing about. Everyone looks like they are cheering and singing, which is good. We've not let ourselves down at all there. We'll give it the passionate. Despite the result. Oh, God, they don't like that. Yikes. We were against a Premier League team, you bunch of morons. Hopefully that hasn't upset them too much for the Torquay game that's coming up next. And financially, we're £140,000 better off than we were before the Watford games. So that has got to be seen as a good thing. Right, they can go on and play Manchester City in the FA Cup, and we're left to focus just on the league for the rest of the season. I am inclined to probably wrap this season up in two episodes. So perhaps do Gateshead and Harrogate tomorrow and Barnet and Salford the day after, especially if it's going to be a mid-table season. We'll just get through the rest of the season. So unless it becomes interesting, like a big promotion push or a risk of sacking, then we'll do Gateshead and Harrogate and then Barnet and Salford, and that will wrap things up. Will it wrap things up by the end of the week? I think it will. I don't know how far in advance I'm recording this. My brain hurts. But anyway, if you have enjoyed it, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.